Hey everybody, Tony George alongside my buddy Scott Sprites. There are a couple of handicappers over right there at DocSports.com. Marquee Matchup here on Sunday in the NFL. Be sure and get over to Doc Sports. Click that link in the description below. Get that free $60 we're giving you if you've never been a member. And we'll back those plays you purchase that with our pure profit guarantee. It's a win-win for you. Thumbs up, subscribe, leave some comments if you want. We'll check them out during the week and answer some of your questions here. The Marquee Matchup this week is the Dallas Cowboys, who are 3-0, Scott, taking on the surprising New Orleans Saints without Drew Brees last week. Wire-to-wire win up in Seattle. Bridgewater had a pedestrian day, 19 out of 27, a couple picks. Had a defensive touchdown. Kamara looked unstoppable. If you had Kamara in fantasy last week, you were very happy, by the way.
Absolutely.
But nonetheless, here, the Cowboys, there's a lot of excitement about the Dallas Cowboys, and they should be. They're America's team. Everybody loves to bet them. And they're 3-0 against the Giants, against the Redskins. See them on Monday night? And the Miami Dolphins.
What are you trying to say?
Well, I'm trying to say, everybody, they play sucked. So, nonetheless, here, on the road, in the Dome, against the Saints, who, by the way, are only 9-11, their last 21 at home against the spread. Without Drew Brees, going to be without him for a while. Prescott's numbers are impressive. There's a lot of excitement about this game. The number is 2.5, total 46.5. Cowboys are laying. Saints, a home dog, look awfully tempting, at least on the surface, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Alvin Kamara. Listen, I tell you what, if you got him on your fantasy team, you're happy right now because with Drew Brees, he was already going to put up numbers, obviously, Kamara, but with Drew Brees sidelined, with Teddy Bridgewater playing a more managing type of quarterback situation rather than out there to win football games, he's just trying to keep things under control. You're going to see Kamara continue to get a lot of touches. He had 25 last week. I think it was 16 carries and 9 receptions for over 160 yards. So he's going to even be a bigger part of this offense. As far as Dak Prescott, you hit it on the head. He's been playing extremely well. Perfect passer rating way back in week 1. You think he's going to slip up a bit, but no, he comes out in week 2 and he goes 26 for 30. Now, last week his numbers dropped off a little bit, but who cares? It wasn't like this team had to be focused for the team they were playing and wiping out, and actually covered that point spread in that 31-6 win. Here's what worries me a little bit about the Saints. They come off the win. It was a game-managing win, both the coaching and both the quarterback play for the Saints. They got outgained 515 to 265 by the Seattle Seahawks in that one, and they had no answer at all on the deep route by Lockett, star wide receiver for Seattle. They just couldn't handle him. So you got to kind of factor all that in, because right now that Cowboys offense, and as Tony said, we got to decide if the softness of the schedule is part of what's given them all these big numbers. But Dak's playing for a contract, guys, and he's playing extremely well right now. Some of the best football we've seen out of him, and he's got the receivers, not just the running game. The running game's not just Zeke Elliott, if I can speak. It's also Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
So they've got a nice 1-2 punch in the backfield, keeps defenses honest, and we saw what happened last week to New Orleans when that defense was kept honest. They got torched yardage-wise.
Yeah, and one thing about it here, Dallas on the road laying 7 or under.
Right.
The last 7 games, 6-1 against the spread. Here's the one thing that concerns me about this real quick, and I'll give you a little lean on this game because I'm not getting near it with the pregame play, but maybe a tease. But at the end of the day, I thought last week during the Seattle game, Scott, we would see Taysom Hill.
Sure.
And because he's kind of the X factor for them at quarterback, special teams, wildcat guy. Obviously, we know he played at BYU. We know he can chuck the rock. I'm sure behind the scenes he's working the arm out a little bit.
He's almost considered the heir apparent down there.
He was. Yeah. And right now, I'm wondering if we're going to see a little trickery out of Sean Payton and some very inventive play calling here to be able to trade punches. Right. Because if you allow Seattle that many yards, let me tell you something. This offense of Dallas, I don't give a rat's ass who they play. But 3 weak sisters, they're going to put up 400-plus yards in this game. And Seattle, and pardon me, but a lot more than with Seattle, put up against them, in my opinion. And, there's going to have to be an answer from the Saints because it can't be just give Kamara the ball the entire game.
He's going to have to get it, I'm going to guess, again, the touches-wise, and I'm talking receptions and rushes combined. He's, again, going to have to get it around 24 times, I think, for them to find success, because you do want to have a little ball control. And that's the cool thing about having a Teddy Bridgewater as your backup quarterback who's now starting for you, because he does have successful starting experience in the NFL. back when he was with the Vikings before the bad injury. So he's going to play under control for the most part. He'll make his mistakes, just like every other veteran quarterback does from time to time, but probably not costly mistakes, Tony. So I think you're right. You got to do more than just hand the ball off to Alvin Kamara, but you also got to make sure he does get his touches both as a rusher and catching the football out of the backfield.
You laying or you taking?
You know what? I'm still kind of working on this one. I think I'm going to end up I'm going to probably have to think towards the over in this one as I think about it. And again, it's early in the week. We still got injuries to check, all that kind of good stuff. And I think that we're going to look, because like what Tony said, you are going to see New Orleans having to open things up a little bit more than they did last week. Because Dallas is such a fine-tuned offensive machine right now, I think you might see some points in this one. And you could always get, we got two defenses who at times can put you in a bad spot if you're the opposing offense, in that they can create turnovers and set up short field situations for their own offenses. You might get an extra point or two out of that. So I'm kind of looking at playing the over here yet. We'll make a decision. And in fact, I will tell you on one of my weekend individual videos, we all do videos every week, or excuse me, every night over at DocSports.com. I'll let you know by Sunday morning if we're going to jump in on this game.
Small lean to the Cowboys. I'm going to give you that.
Okay.
I think they get over. The yardage that the Saints gave up last week was virtually appalling.
Sure.
And that team offensively is not even in the same galaxy right now as what the Cowboys are. That's the marquee matchup.
Right.
He's Scott Spreitzer. I'm Tony George. Get over to DocSports.com. Get yourself some winners this Sunday in the NFL. I'll have some for them. How about you?
Absolutely. I got a 7-unit play of college football going this weekend, so I can't wait to jump into it.
Boom. See you this weekend over at DocSports.com. Thanks for tuning in.